And welcome back to the Chris Salcedo Show. I'm Tom Basili. The sixth time may be the charm in the effort to recall California Governor Gavin Newsom. This attempt to unseat the governor is rapidly gaining steam. The worsening pandemic, new stay-at-home orders, that Newsom himself has actually violated by attending a birthday party at the fancy French Laundry restaurant, not to mention an unemployment fraud scandal, the cratering of the state's economy. It's all coming together in a perfect storm that has very real potential to put the question to the voters: should he stay or should he go? The movement has about half the signatures needed to trigger a recall election, and they've got until March to get the rest. Joining me now is Mike Netter, a founding member of the Recall Gavin Newsom Coalition. Mike, thanks for being with us here.
Pleasure to be here today. Very much a pleasure.
Mike, tell us how you got this started.
Well, it really got started by we're a group of patriots with no experience in politics, and maybe that's how it's paying off, that saw the need where somebody had to do something. And even before COVID started, Tom, we realized that the state was going in the wrong direction, and pretty much it was due to the man at the top, who really didn't seem to care at any aspect, any place in the game, what the public thought, which we always thought was probably what an elected official should do.
Well,
So,
I mean, California is a little bit of a different situation, right? I mean, it's a one-party rule state. It's ruled by leftists, and they don't really feel like they are actually responsive to the people anymore. Look, you've been down this road before. The California actually had a successful recall with Gray Davis back in 2003. But there have been several other attempts. How close has this come before to try to oust Newsom?
First, let me put in a plug. It's recallgavin2020.com. And one of the things we did to make it easy to answer your first question again is we have an 8.5 by 11 petition, which has to be signed in wet ink. Today, with all volunteers, Tom, I want to stress so far we have 900,000 signatures. We need 1.5 million. I'll let you do the math, but we're about 60% of the way there, and we have until March 17th. And our best representative to get this done actually is Gavin himself, because every day in the newspapers, every day in the press, something new comes out and a new group comes to sign it. It's literally, I think again, I'm not a political veteran, but I could tell you that recallgavin2020.com in the last 7 days has had over 300,000 people come to the site.
That's great. As I was saying, it's a one-party rule state. Lots of people don't have a voice. Hundreds of thousands of people have already voted with their feet. They're leaving for more affordable places. Do you really feel that this is the only way at this point that people can be heard in California through recalls, because there's no or initiative and referendum, because there really is no political accountability when it comes to the actual politicians?
Well, I think Californians, and I've been one for a long time, maybe sometimes we're not that bright, right? We voted in what's called a jungle primary or top two-tier system about 15 years ago. And what it's really done is allowed the Democrats to kind of steer the system so they get the people they want on the ballot. The main objective is that not just that the recall gives the public, gets around the jungle primary. So when the special election is called, we're going to have, do you want Gavin to continue as governor? Yes or no? Let you guess, Tom, how I'm voting. And then you vote from a slate of candidates, right? So immediately what that does, there's a 30-day verification period as soon as we get the signatures in. And I also want to stress we have until March 17th. We may not need until March 17th. Let's be clear on that,
Sure.
okay? So we may
there's a
get
lot of
those
momentum.
signatures. The momentum's almost an understatement, right? It's like standing in front of a 747 right now as you see the press light up across the country with this subject. But what I'm saying is this: it's going to open up in a special election 30 days after verification. They have to call it within 90 days.
Right.
The conversation in California. If you like, I could tell you what I think the political problem is in California. And go ahead.
Well, look, what I want to, Mike, what I really want to do is, you mentioned, across the country, and 20 states have recall provisions, including California, Oregon, Washington, Michigan, Illinois, and New Jersey. Do you hope to start a trend in other blue states where we're seeing the kind of government failure that we're seeing in California?
What I really hope is this. First off, I'm concerned with California. I think it's important to note, God bless the other states in the union. I do hope a trend goes, but I think what gets forgotten a lot of the time is we're 12% of the population. And what I think the red has done, or the Republicans, is we kind of concede California, right? It's blue, leave it alone. If you think about the presidential election, which just took place, we conceded 55 electoral votes at 805 when we had less than probably 2% of our vote counted. California is not quite as red. So I think the country needs to understand that by taking back California, this will cascade to other states.
All right. Mike Netter, Recall Gavin Newsom Coalition. Keep us informed, okay, as you make a continued progress, and thanks for what you're doing. Appreciate you being here.
RecallGavin2020.com.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.